Hello everyone. Well, you might be wondering what am I doing today. Well, this is something related to our today's topic, which is extrusion process. And this is the best example which I can give you for extrusion, which all of you hopefully might be using daily. That toothpaste tube. What we are doing in a toothpaste tube, we are just applying a force on this tube so that the toothpaste come out of the tube in the shape of the exit. This is nothing but an extrusion process, to be very simple. Okay, so what we are doing in an extrusion process, we have a container, a ram and a billet inside that container. That can be either a hot billet or it can be a cold billet. We are applying a force on the ram. So what will happen? The billet will first fill that container, and once the container is completely filled by the billet, then a compressive force will act on the billet, compressive stress will act on the billet, and as this compressive stress becomes greater than the flow stress, then the material will start flowing out of the chamber, out of the container, and it will take the shape of the die which is placed on the exit. This process is nothing but an extrusion process. Getting this or not? Okay, so we have this container, a ram, a container, a billet. We are applying a force through the ram so that we can get the final shape with the shape of the die. And this die shape can be anything. Whatever be the shape of the die, it can be a circular, it can be a square, it can be a rectangle, an I section, a T section, whatever shape we want. Obviously, uniform cross section we will have throughout. Whatever shape we want, we can have that die and that material will take that shape. This process is nothing but an extrusion process. Okay. Let's suppose initial velocity of this ram is V0, the area of this billet is A0, final velocity of this ram is, final velocity with which the material is coming out is suppose V1, and the area, final area of the material is suppose A1. And one thing I told you in the introduction part of the unit, that we assume in all the metal forming process, we assume that the material is incompressible. And if the material is incompressible, then obviously the volume before extrusion should be equal to volume after extrusion. Okay, or you can say A0 into V0 should be equal to A1 into V1, or you can say V0 by V1 is equal to A1 by A0. Getting this on? And obviously we know what? A1 is less than A0, A1 is less than A0, therefore this V0 is less than V1, or you can say this V1 will be greater than V0. Okay, the value of this A0 by A1, maximum value lies between 40 to 50, and if the material is very soft, then this can vary up to 400 to 500 also for very soft material. Getting this now? Okay. Now, next coming to the types of extrusion process. So basically there are 4 types of extrusion process. First is forward extrusion, second is backward extrusion, third is hydrostatic extrusion, and last one is the impact extrusion. And one by one we will study all these four type of extrusion process. Well, the first 2 types of extrusion is the forward and backward extrusion. Now what actually is the forward and backward extrusion? When we are applying a force on a ram and the material is coming out of the container in the same direction of the movement of the ram, like we have seen in this figure, the ram is moving in this direction and the material is also coming out in the same direction. So such an extrusion process is known as forward extrusion, or you can also call it as direct extrusion. Now what is backward extrusion? When the movement of ram and the movement of the material is in opposite direction, then we call it as backward extrusion. You can see here the ram is moving in this direction, okay, the die is here, in this case the die was placed in this direction, in this part of the container. Here the die is placed on the RAM. Okay, so finally this material, this billet, the material of the billet will come out through the opening of this die, opening of the RAM. Getting this or not? So this is actually the backward extrusion process. Now what actually is the major difference between the forward and backward extrusion? Let us understand this thing very carefully. When we are applying a force on the RAM during forward extrusion, the billet material is moving in this direction, in the direction of the RAM. So the frictional force between the billet and the container obviously will act in opposite direction, like this. This will be the direction of frictional force, opposite direction. Okay, the RAM is moving in this direction, the force is applied in this direction, friction is acting in opposite direction of the force applied. Okay, so this will resist the force, and obviously the force applied will be more in case of forward extrusion. And what is happening in the reverse extrusion process? In the backward extrusion process, we are applying force through RAM in this direction. Okay, so force required in case of backward extrusion will be quite less as compared to the forward extrusion. Clear or not? Okay, now let us see the comparison of this forward and backward extrusion process. The very first thing is handling. Handling obviously will be easy in forward extrusion process and will be difficult in backward extrusion process. Second thing is force applied. As I told you, force applied will be more in case of forward extrusion process and will be less in case of backward extrusion process. Third thing is design and manufacturing. Now design and manufacturing for obvious reasons will be easy for forward extrusion process, and it will be difficult for reverse or backward extrusion process. Why it will be difficult? Because here in this case we have to make the opening in RAM only. We have to fit the die in the RAM. Okay, so design and manufacturing of this RAM will be quite difficult in case of backward extrusion as compared to the forward extrusion. Okay, and the last thing, the brittleness. Now forward extrusion process will be unsuitable for extruding semi-brittle and brittle type of materials. Why am I saying this? Because when we are applying a force on this, a frictional force is acting on this billet, and because of that frictional force, the brittleness of the material will increase. Okay, so this will be unsuitable for semi-brittle material or brittle material. But in case of backward extrusion, here there is no change in brittleness of the material, and in forward extrusion obviously the brittleness will increase. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the forward and backward extrusion process. Now we will see the force applied in backward extrusion process. Okay, so total extrusion stress applied sigma naught. This sigma naught is equal to sigma y 1 plus b upon b 1 minus a1 by a naught to the power b, where this b is nothing but mu cot of alpha. Okay, and alpha I told you, this angle is alpha, which is half of the extrusion angle. This angle is alpha. So b is equal to mu cot of alpha, a1 is the final cross sectional area, a naught is the initial cross sectional area, and sigma y is the yield stress, or you can call it as flow stress. In this case, in case of compression, sigma y is nothing but flow stress, sigma f. Getting this? Okay, so this is nothing but the total extrusion stress applied. This is the case for backward extrusion. Now in case of forward extrusion, what will happen? This is for the backward extrusion. In case of forward extrusion, we will have to apply extra force in order to overcome the frictional force. There is a pressure developing because of this frictional force as well, which is in opposite direction. Okay, so we will have to apply more force in order to overcome this frictional force. Okay, so in case of this forward extrusion force in forward extrusion will be equal to sigma naught plus pf into a naught. Okay, here extrusion, this is the extrusion stress, extrusion force will be equal to sigma naught into a1, sorry, sigma naught into a naught. Okay, in case of backward extrusion. extrusion force will be equal to sigma naught into A naught. Now what will be in case of forward extrusion? This extrusion force will be equal to sigma naught plus Pf into A naught, where Pf is the pressure required in overcoming the wall friction. The pressure required in overcoming the wall friction, and as I told you, obviously this forward extrusion force will be greater as compared to the backward extrusion force. Getting this or not? Okay. Okay. Next is the true strain. Now what will be the value of this true strain? As I told you, this true strain is equal to ln of 1 plus epsilon, or you can say ln of A naught by A1, or you can say 2 ln of D naught by D1. This is the formula for true strain. Clear or not? Okay. So write down one note. Extrusion force in backward extrusion is less than that of the forward extrusion due to the presence of frictional force in forward extrusion. Clear? Okay. Now we will draw one graph between force and the distance of ram travel for forward and backward extrusion. Okay. So in case of forward extrusion, as ram is moving in forward direction, the force applied on the material is increasing. Okay. After flow stress, this force will remain constant and material will easily start flowing. This is for forward extrusion. Okay. What about backward extrusion? Obviously the force applied will be less. Okay. So backward extrusion graph will be like this. This is for backward extrusion. Okay. This extra force is applied during forward extrusion, that is because of friction, as I told you. Getting this or not? Okay, so we have seen one formula for extrusion. Sigma naught is equal to what? Sigma y 1 plus b upon b 1 minus a1 by a naught to the power b, where b is what? Mu cot of alpha. Okay, I will tell you few more forms of this formula which will be helpful in solving numerical. This sigma naught can also be written as k ln of a naught by a1, where k is extrusion constant. This is another formula. Okay, so say if sigma naught is k ln of a naught by a1, so what will be extrusion force? This extrusion force will be equal to a naught into k ln of a naught by a1. Getting this or not? Okay. Another form, this sigma naught is equal to flow stress upon extrusion efficiency. Okay, so if extrusion efficiency is given, so when we have the value of flow stress, we can get the value of sigma naught as well. First thing. Next, in forward extrusion, I told you this sigma is equal to what? Sigma naught plus Pf, where Pf is the force or pressure required in overcoming frictional force. Okay, if the value of Pf is given directly, then no problem. If not given, then this Pf is equal to 4 k dash in, okay, where k dash is sigma f upon root 3. That's it. Okay, so from here we can get the value of extrusion force, which will be equal to a naught into sigma naught plus Pf. Getting this or not? Okay, so these are few more forms which will be useful in solving numericals. Alright, so let us solve some numericals. Okay, from our booklet, question number 26. This question was asked in Mechanical Gate 2003. Okay, a brass billet is to be extruded from its initial diameter of 100 mm to a final diameter of 50 mm. The working temperature is 700 degrees centigrade and extrusion constant is 250 megapascal. The force required is. Okay, so a very simple question. Initial diameter given, d naught is 100 mm, final diameter d1 is given as 50 mm, and extrusion constant k is given as 250 megapascal. We have to determine extrusion force. What is this extrusion force? This is equal to A naught into K ln of A naught by A1. Okay, so just put the values. So this will be equal to pi by 4 into d naught square, which is 100 square, into 250 into ln of A naught by A1. What will be A naught by A1? Pi by 4 d naught square upon pi by 4 d1 square. Pi by 4 gets cancelled out. This will be equal to d naught square by d1 square. Okay, so just put the values of this d naught and d1. I will directly put the value. This will be d naught is 100 square upon 50 square. Okay, so from here you will get this at 2.72 mega Newton. Answer. Getting this now? Okay, so this question was asked in GATE 2003 for mechanical, and the same question was repeated for production in GATE 2005. Getting this not? Okay. Okay. Next type of extrusion process is the hydrostatic extrusion. Now, what actually is a hydrostatic extrusion? As we have seen in the forward and backward extrusion processes, they have their own advantages and disadvantages. The only disadvantage of the forward extrusion is the friction. Rest everything we are having the advantages, like the handling is very easy, the construction is very easy for forward extrusion process. Okay, so if somehow or the other, if we can remove that friction or we can reduce that friction, then obviously forward extrusion will be much better than the backward extrusion process. Okay, so in this hydrostatic extrusion, we are just removing the friction of the forward extrusion. This is also forward extrusion, but in this case we are removing the friction of the forward extrusion process. You can see here, this is the system of hydrostatic extrusion. So when the force is applied through the ram, that the ram and the workpiece, you can see here, the ram and the workpiece are not in direct contact with each other, and workpiece is also not in direct contact with the container. This is the container, this is the workpiece, this is the ram, and the workpiece and the ram or the container are not in direct contact with each other. Instead, they are in contact with the help of a fluid. And when the force is applied on the ram, that force is applied on the fluid, and then that fluid is applying the force on the workpiece. So what will happen with this? We can reduce the friction because workpiece is not in direct contact with the container. Obviously friction will be reduced, friction will be very less, because now the workpiece is in contact with the liquid, with the hydrostatic fluid. Okay, and same thing, the material will come out in the direction of the ram. So this is also a kind of forward extrusion process. The hydrostatic fluids which are used are you can use vegetable oil, the castor oil, then SAE oils, you can use grease, etc. These all fluids can be used for hydrostatic fluid as a hydrostatic fluid at room temperature, and at elevated temperature you can use then the polymer, the glass, the wax, etc. These all can be used at elevated temperature as an hydrostatic fluid. Okay, so this is about the hydrostatic extrusion. Next type of extrusion process is the impact extrusion process. Now, as the name is suggesting, in this impact load is applied on the material. We have a soft material, we use soft material in this. Okay, you can see the arrangement here. I will show you with the help of two figures. This is the first figure. In this, we have the punch and the workpiece and the base. Okay, when the impact load is applied with the help of a punch on the workpiece, what will happen? When the impact load is applied, then you can see here, when the impact load is applied with the help of a punch on the workpiece will flow on the clearance between the punch and the container, and finally it will take the shape of that clearance. This process is nothing but an impact extrusion process. Okay, if I give you the example of impact extrusion, this, the tube of this toothpaste. Okay, this tube is made with the help of the impact extrusion. Obviously, there are several such examples which are made with the help of an impact extrusion process. Getting this now? Okay, the only limitation of this impact extrusion is that it can be used only for the soft materials. It cannot be used for very hard materials. Getting this? Okay, so these are all the different types of extrusion process. Next is the defects. Defects of extrusion process. Okay, so there are basically two types of defects. First is bamboo defect, and second is the pipe defect. Okay. Now what is a bamboo defect? In bamboo defect, the final shape of the component is non-uniform. The cross section of the final shape is non-uniform, like a bamboo. This defect is known as the bamboo defect. And what is the reason? What can be the reason of this defect? Obviously, the non-uniform velocity of this ram. Okay, if the velocity of the ram is non-uniform, then obviously the shape, the final shape we are getting will be non-uniform. As simple as that. Okay, so this such type of defect is the bamboo defect. Second defect is the pipe defect. Now, what is a pipe defect? Now, as we know, when we cast the material and make billet out of it, okay, we have certain scales in that casted material. Okay, and when we are applying a force on this billet, this scales will come in the form of air holes in the final extruded component, like this. Okay, this is scales, such scales will come in the final extruded component in the form of a air bubble. Okay, the scale which are here like this will form an air bubble, and finally it will appear in the extruded product. Such defect is the pipe defect. Getting this now? Okay, so these are the defects of the extrusion process. So this is all about extrusion process, very small topic. Okay, thank you.